Adjutant is a military rank or appointment. In some armies, including most English-speaking ones, it is an officer who assists a more senior officer, while in other armies, especially Francophone ones, it is an NCO, normally corresponding roughly to a staff sergeant or warrant officer. An adjutant general is commander of an army's administrative services. Etymology: adjutant comes from the Latin adjutans, present participle of the verb adjuva, to help. The Romans actually used adjuta for the noun. Military and paramilitary appointment: in various uniformed hierarchies, the term is used for a number of functions, but generally as a principal aid to a commanding officer. A regimental adjutant, garrison adjutant etc. is a staff officer, who assists the commanding officer of a regiment, battalion or garrison in the details of regimental, garrison or similar duty. In United States Army squadrons, the adjutant is often the officer in charge of the administrative platoon. Britain and the Commonwealth equals: in the British Army, an adjutant is usually a senior captain. As the colonel's personal staff officer, he was once in charge of all the organization, administration and discipline for a battalion or regiment, although now the bulk of administrative work is carried out by the regimental administrative officer. Until the 1970s the adjutant was also the regimental operations officer, although this job is now filled by a separate officer. In the British Army, adjutants are given field rank and as such are senior by appointment to all other captains, ranking just behind the majors. Unlike the RAO, the adjutant is a member of the corps or regiment of which their unit is a part. The adjutant's job is not solely a backroom one, since he usually accompanies the colonel. Captain David Wood, the adjutant of 2 Para, was killed in action at the Battle of Goose Green, for example. Normally, in a British infantry battalion, the adjutant controls the battle whilst the CO commands it. As such, the adjutant is usually a man of significant influence within his battalion. In many Commonwealth armies, the adjutant performs much the same role as in the British Army. There is no RAO position within the Australian Army, where an adjutant performs the administrative role with the assistance of a chief clerk, who usually has a rank of warrant officer class 2. United States equals: in the U.S. Army, historically the adjutant was generally a member of the branch or regiment of the parent unit. In 2008, as a result of the Army's transformation, the human resources community implemented the Personnel Services Delivery redesign, which recoded the adjutant position in battalions to an officer from the Adjutant General branch. The Adjutant General at the battalion level is generally a junior captain or senior first lieutenant and, in conjunction with the S1 section, manages the administrative functions of the unit. The adjutant also works closely with the unit's command sergeant major for awards ceremonies, traditional ceremonial functions, casual events, evaluation reports, and management of correspondence and other secretarial functions. Based upon the needs of the commander, an adjutant typically from the combat arms branches may still be specially appointed in modern day to assist a brigade commander to ease his/her burden of command. There is a bugle call announcing the adjutant that is still used in military ceremonies today. In the USMC, the adjutant serves as the senior administrator for their unit, and is the OIC of the S1 or admin shop. Per the USMC MOS Handbook, adjutants coordinate administrative matters for Marine Corps staff sections and external agencies at the staff level. They ensure that every Marine in their command has administrative resources both for day-to-day tasks and long-term career progression. Adjutants supervise the execution of administrative policies. They receive and route correspondence, preparing responses to any special correspondence. They also manage their unit's legal matters and monitor fitness reports, among other administrative duties. http www.marines.com Roles in the Corps Adjutant. Non-commissioned rank: in some armies, adjutant is a rank similar to a Commonwealth staff sergeant or warrant officer. Benelux equals: in the Belgian Army and Luxembourg Army, the ranks are adjutant, adjutant chef and adjutant major. In Dutch, they are collectively known as Commandeur-officier. Adjutant Onderofficier is the only rank of warrant officer in the Royal Netherlands Army. Canada equals: in the Canadian Army and Royal Canadian Air Force, Adjutant is the French form of the English warrant officer, and as such can refer to both the cadre of warrant officers, and the specific ranks of adjutant, adjutant more registered trademarked, and adjutant chef. In English, the term adjutant is used in common with other English-speaking armies, and the corresponding French term is capitaine adjudant. France equals. Adjutant is a class of NCO ranks in French Army, Air Force and Gendarmerie. These ranks are senior to the rank of sergeant and junior to the rank of major. Like the officers, the adjutants are entitled to the mon before their rank, as in mon adjudant. The adjutant ranks are, in order of seniority, adjutant equivalent to a U.S. Master Sergeant or a British Commonwealth Warrant Officer 2, Chief Adjutant, equivalent, but slightly junior, to a U.S. Sergeant Major or a British Commonwealth Warrant Officer 1. In France, each corps has a colour. A French adjutant wears a band, with thin red line, in the opposite colour to that of his corps. A chief adjutant wears a band, with thin red line, in the colour of his corps. In order to distinguish an adjutant from a chief adjutant, it is therefore necessary to know the arms colour. This will be the colour of the cap badge, for example gold cap badge for the infantry, silver cap badge for armoured cavalry. Bangladesh Army has the appointment of adjutant, which is similar to that in Old British system. Adjutants are mostly captains and sometimes lieutenants, though the authorization is of captain rank. Resoldier adjutant or Naik Subedar adjutant is a position unique to the Bangladesh Army. He is a warrant officer who acts as deputy to the adjutant. On all formal parades, the standard procedure is for the squadron company sergeant major to first report to the resoldier adjutant/Naik Subedar adjutant, and the resoldier adjutant/Naik Subedar adjutant in turn to report to the adjutant. Pakistan, the Pak Army has the appointment of adjutant, which is similar to that in Old British system. Adjutants in Pak Army are mostly captains and sometimes lieutenants. Pak Army also holds the rank of junior adjutant, who works as an aide to adjutant and is of the rank of Subedar, equivalent rank to warrant officer or sergeant in Western armies. The regimental adjutant is also commander of regimental provost and assist commanding officer in all matters pertaining to discipline, training and operational planning. India, the Indian Army has the position of adjutant, which is based on the Old British system. The adjutants in most cases are captains, but in some cases hold the rank of major. Subedar adjutant is a position unique to the Bangladesh Army and Indian Army. He is a subedar who acts as deputy to the adjutant. On all formal parades, the standard procedure is for the company havildar major to first report to the subedar adjutant, and the subedar adjutant in turn to report to the adjutant. In the British Indian Army, the equivalent position was the Jemadar adjutant, who held the lower rank of Jemadar. Adjutant General. An Adjutant General is a rank and a role that may represent the principal staff officer of an army. Through him, the commanding general receives communications and issues military orders. In the United States, the Adjutant General is the chief military officer of the National Guard units in any one of the American states. This use of the term reflects the early history of the U.S., where each of the 50 states retains partial sovereignty, including the right to maintain military forces. The Army and Air National Guard are state units that can be called to federal duty in case of national emergency. See also, S1. References